Okay, so we left the squatty potty and the unicorn and excretion to talk about digestive issues. Dr. McDougall has written a lovely book called Digestive Tuneup, which addresses a lot of GI issues, which actually can be related back to nutrition, you guys. So I'm just gonna highlight a few of them, but I have the book up there in case you're interested. Maybe the local library has it or it's something you'd like to get. So to begin with hiccups, they can be caused by eating too fast, taking in too much air, talking while you're eating, gulping down your food. So that could help improve that. Fiber and gas. So the bacteria in your gut is trying to work on digesting that fiber, breaking that fiber down. So at first it causes a lot of gas, but if you keep the fiber intake up, the body adjusts to that increased level. It figures out how to manage it better. So it does go away in about 2 to 3 weeks. If you cook beans, when you soak them, throw that water out. Don't cook them in that water. What happens is the sugars in the bean leave the water, and when you cook them, the sugars run back into the bean. And that's what causes the gas, is the sugars. Honestly. So if you throw that water out, there's decreased sugars that are going back into the bean. Heartburn, there is a link to, I believe, an article that McDougall, let's see. Yeah, McDougall, might be a video. So that's a hot link. This is Peggy no longer suffers reflux. I don't know, she's just 6 minutes.
I've probably been interested in health and healthy diet and that sort of thing for a long time. But one of the main books that started me really looking at changing my diet was one of Dr. McDougall's books. It was, I believe, the 12-day book that I got about 2000. I think I got it in 2000 and started reading it. And very good information. So I started practicing some of it. I went on a bet with my brother and we started practicing this together. But then I fell off the wagon. I thought that I missed meat, that I had to have meat, that sort of thing. And then about 3.5, 4 years ago, I started having more physical difficulties, not major stuff. It wasn't like I, had a major medical condition, but I started having problems with reflux. So even standing, I would get reflux. Like, how can you get reflux standing? And leg cramps, and I mean, for a while I thought, do I have a blood clot in my leg? It would hurt so much. My joints all started hurting. My ankles, my knees, it almost seemed every single joint would hurt. Headaches, I get migraines and tension headaches. I would get the stomach, what I thought of as stomach flu, and other people would say stomach flu, and I must have gotten at least once or twice a year. I would get bronchitis every year, and it would go on for 6 weeks, and I don't know how many times my doctor would put me on an antibiotic for the bronchitis. About 3.5 years ago, I went through a cheese binge, where literally I ate cheese every single day for about 2 months, 2.5 months, 3 months. And I put weight on and my cholesterol went way up. And I'm from Canada. So in our numbers, it would probably be, I think it's over, sorry, it's over 5.96 in the numbers that you use. It was over 200. It was about 205 because I did the math just for interest. So it was up to a not healthy level. So I thought, okay, I better do something. So I went back to reading Dr. McDougall's books and looking at, and also Dr. Bernard's and other things, and started looking at, okay, change the diet to a plant-based, starch-based diet. And then since then, I've lost some weight. I was never very overweight, but I'm probably down in the last 4 years, 20 pounds. I don't get bronchitis any longer. I'm the oldest person on the team that I work on, and I get sick much less than anybody else on the team, even people into their 30s. I don't have the reflux. Very rare do I ever get that. Certainly when I'm eating healthy, my bowel problems are gone. I don't get the leg cramps. I do have arthritis. I've got arthritis in my knee and my shoulder because my doctor did do the x-rays for that. So I do have mild arthritis, but I don't get problems in those joints. If I have problems, it's in another shoulder that is because I'm doing something dumb or I'm not stretching or whatever. So I don't have any of the problems from the arthritis. I very seldom get headaches any longer. And I don't get what would be the stomach flu. I don't get the food poisoning where you've got the vomiting, diarrhea. I don't get that. Other people on the team may get it, but I just don't. So it's really made a major difference for me. Mild things, I mean, they're not big. I don't have cancer and I don't have heart disease, but it really has made a major difference. But I certainly find it much easier to maintain my weight on a starch-based diet. I do. Trying to do calorie counting, I can do that for a little while and then I go off. Okay, but a healthy starch-based, plant-based diet, I find much easier to stay on. And if you use some spices and, fresh herbs, it's very tasty. It's not flat. People think that's, what can you have, pasta? I don't eat a huge amount of pasta. Salads, I don't eat a lot of salads. I eat more of the starches. I would say I'm much more what Dr. McDougall says of it being starch-based. Yes, more of my diet is starch, and that's easy. I mean, a baked potato, one of my easiest meals, quickest meals that my husband really likes is baked potato, cooked vegetables, salsa, and hummus. You just layer it. You've got super easy, tasty, and you can salsa, antipasto, whatever you want to put on it. There's some very easy, healthy, tasty meals there that are quick. They're much quicker than cooking a piece of chicken. Piece of chicken takes you, what, 45 minutes to cook in the oven? I don't know, it's been a few years. I mean, potato takes, what, 7 minutes? In a microwave, it's a huge potato, a few minutes for the veggies. Much faster. If you want fast food, a starch-based diet is much faster than other ones. One of the reasons I stay on it is partly health, is I don't want to get these things again, but the environment and the animals, what our diet does to the environment, the animals, how atrocious the factory farms and the dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico, that's really what keeps me on it. I think I probably might forget that it has a major physical effect, that health-wise it really has made me much healthier, but I probably could forget that because our society is so much into don't eat gluten and don't eat potatoes, carbohydrates make you fat, all of that. So I probably would forget because of the push from what we hear in the news, but it's really the animals and the environment that keeps me on more at the straight and narrow.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. That's kind of an example of a McDougall video. So a little bit on heartburn. Is that if you're eating or drinking just too much at one time, that can cause heartburn. There could be chemical irritants in the food, for you particularly, that can cause the heartburn. People take acids to help with heartburn. Acid, AN means without acid. So it's going to block the acid. Well, we have acid in our stomach to help us digest food. So taking acids on a daily basis for heartburn is counterintuitive to having good digestion. So you want to take the steps so that you can remove that heartburn. It's really gastric acid flushing up into the esophagus. That's what heartburn is. It's burning by your heart because we have mucus in our stomach to stop the acid from burning it, but we don't have mucus in the esophagus. So the burn is literally acid burning your esophagus lining. So you want to change your diet to help with that. Okay. So we're going to stop with this video and we'll start more with the next one.